It's not possible.
I didn't say it would be easy, Neo.
All right, good morning. The Committee on Parole is reconvening. We're in Orleans Parish on Wednesday, April 24th, 2024. It's 9:35 a.m. My name is Cheryl Renatza. Is there anybody in the room with you? You're by yourself? No, there's a staff member. We'd like the staff to introduce themselves for the record. That's okay. That's okay. Why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us your name and DOC number.
Morning, my name is Lonnie here.
You're Lonnie?
Ma'am.
Oh, okay, let me get to the right one. It was on the wrong case.
Is this on?
Yes.
I was learning so long.
Yeah. Stand by. Okay, I got the right case then, sorry. And you have, let me introduce us. I've introduced myself. Seated to my left is Mrs. Stapleton and to my right is Mr. Freak. Now you have counsel with you this morning, I believe. Is Ms. Bennett on the line with us? Is Ms. Bennett on Zoom with us? Okay. We had the other guy first, so just stand by. We're trying to get the folks here for you. Can you put us on mute? Okay, they're here. All right. So we've introduced Mr. Rowe in our cell. So we'd like for counsel and the advocate to please introduce yourselves.
Good morning. My name is Ariane Bennett. I'm counsel for Mr. Rowe.
Good morning. My name is Mia Barr. I'm his client advocate at the Public Defender's Office.
Okay, great. Thank you. So, Mr. Rowe, I'm going to read the allegations against you, after which I'll ask you to enter a plea of guilty or not guilty, and then we'll have a conversation about it, and we'll hear from your representatives. We also have, so you know, your mother is also on Zoom observing this morning.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so you're accused of violating the conditions of your parole, specifically condition number 4, and it states, the violation states, you were arrested on August 29, 2023, and booked for convicted felon in possession of a firearm and illegal possession of a stolen firearm. That charge was refused on February 5th, 2024. Now, how do you plead to violating condition number 4?
I plead guilty.
Then we have condition number 5. It states that you were arrested August 29, 2023, and booked for convicted felon in possession of a firearm and illegal possession of stolen firearm. Again, that was refused February 5th, 2024. So how do you plead to violating condition number 5?
Not guilty.
And then we have condition number 10. You are having a rearage of $378 in supervision fees. How do you plead to violating number 10?
Guilty.
Okay. So you pled guilty to violating condition number 4, which deals with the arrest for the firearm, but you pled not guilty to number 5. Tell us about what happened to you.
They arrested me for a gun. You know, I come to jail. I know I made a mistake, you know, from having a weapon on me. And
Why did you have a weapon on you?
because I've been through a lot. I've been shot up. I've been, living in a neighborhood that's violent. You know, that's the only reason why I had the weapon. for my safety.
Well, I tell you what, why don't we hear from your client advocate or your attorney, whoever wants to tell us a little bit about what's working with you.
I can go first. I can go first. So I've represented Mr. Rowe for the entire life of this case at this point. And in all of our conversations, when Mr. Rowe was arrested, and through the life of this case, and subsequently, since I've closed this case out and we've been preparing for the parole board, you know, Mr. Rowe and I have talked extensively about his life. We've talked about him being a victim of shootings, and we have talked about his possession of a gun in this case. And my understanding from all of those conversations is that Mr. Rowe has been released from DOC from doing prison time in the past and has never received any type of reentry support. And this has led to him ending up in the exact same neighborhoods with the exact same people around him. And this is a pattern that he wants to break now. As he just said to the board, he was concerned for his own safety. He was living in a place near the people that had previously shot him. And this pattern is going to change because of the reentry support that he will receive from our office that I know Ms. Barr can talk about more fully, which is that he has children and a family that he wants to be there for and who he wants to care for. And he knows that he cannot do that if he goes back to prison now. And through reentry support, through moving to a different neighborhood, through getting involved in intervention services and mental health treatment, those are the things that are going to make this different for Mr. Rowe. And that going to prison hasn't changed that pattern. It has just released him back into the exact same place he can find housing, which is near the people that have shot him now at least twice. And so I'll turn it over to Ms. Barr to explain kind of more of the reentry support that we intend to provide Mr. Rowe. And I just want to note that he has enthusiastically engaged with me for this entire case, and also all of the staff from our office that have worked with him, and has spoken to us extensively about why he wants this opportunity to be different for him.
Great, thank you. Ms. Barr?
Yeah, good morning. My name is Mia Barr, and I'm a client advocate at the Orleans Public Defender's Office. I'm speaking today on behalf of Lonnie Rowe, whom I've worked closely with over the last few months. I've come to know him as motivated, thoughtful, intelligent, and intuitive. I've collaborated with him, his family, and Ms. Bennett to create a release plan that would allow for a safe and secure reentry to the community, and I'm here to respectfully offer an alternative to revocation that will more appropriately address the situation at hand. Lonnie is determined to create a new path forward for himself despite his past. While incarcerated on these current charges at OJC, he has, for the first time in his life, begun to understand the significance of the trauma he has yet to work through. He admits that for his entire life, he has been in survival mode, which has prevented him from acknowledging that trauma and beginning to meaningfully work through it. He is eager to continue the work of managing his triggers and learning new coping skills. Lonnie has become a leader in the jail, and he's become a dependable figure on his tier. He's frequently the one called upon to break up fights, help others in need, and calm people down. And he's really proud of this new role that he's created for himself. He also has begun the most trusted job in the jail, which is cutting people's hair, which has inspired him to do his best to work towards opening up his own barbershop one day. Far beyond that entrepreneurial endeavor, however, Lonnie's biggest inspiration is his 3 children, and his dream is to be the father to them that he didn't have in his own father. While the essential first step is returning home, the most important step is remaining home. And because Lonnie has successfully completed probation before, we are confident in his ability to remain compliant with any supervision requirements if released back on parole. To help him reach his goals, I've referred Lonnie to a wide array of wraparound social services, including the First 72 Plus for reentry support and one-on-one coaching, Jackson Hands of Change for mental health treatment, YMCA Yes, which is their educational services program for one-on-one high-set tutoring, the Fit Clinic for medical care and a one-on-one community healthcare worker, and CEO Works for employment training and financial coaching. There's more information about all of those services in the packet that that Ms. Bennett submitted for this hearing. And I do want to underscore that it is never my job to sign a client up for a program that they do not express any interest in. All of these programs have come about because Lonnie has requested them and because he is eager to engage in them and dedicated to completing them. In summary, even in the face of his present circumstances, Lonnie has remained steadfast in his determination to return home to his family, his mom, and his children, in order to build a new life that he, his siblings, his mom, and his kids can be proud of. In addition to all his family support, he will have my continued support upon release, and I'll remain available to assist in service access and coordination, including benefit applications, to make sure that he is fully compliant and supported. I'm confident that he will succeed in taking full advantage of a second chance by following the release plan that he and I have put together. And thank you for your consideration.
Ms. Barr, how long have you been working with Mr. Rowe?
I was brought on to his case about 2 or 3 months ago.
Thank you. Mr. Rowe,
Ma'am,
tell us about your work on the tier.
I work on a tip. Well, I'm a good person, you know. I'm not bad, and they got a lot of young brothers that need help. You know, we do Bible study, we do prayer call, you know, and I help with the Muslims. I cut hair. The deputies let me go around cutting hair, and you know, I just gotta communicate with people. You know, they like me. I cause confusion down on the hill. But when a fight break off, all of a sudden I try to get people to come together as one.
So tell us about your thoughts about the reentry plan they put together. I want to hear it from you. What do you think about it?
I think it's a good idea for me because I never had experience to go to classes of a job or anything like that. The first program I ever went to was the first 72 when I was on the street. When I came home, I was in the program for like 4 months, and it was real good. It was teaching me how to get back to society, get a job, learn. It was good for me, and I would love to go back to it.
What about changing where you live?
Student.
What about changing where you live, moving to a different neighborhood?
Now, I don't know. I could stay from around the neighborhood, but you know, my mother, she still stayed in this neighborhood, so I gotta go see her, take care of her, you know. And I'm gonna have to try to see if I can work with it, you know, not to be around the wrong crowd. I know that now. Not to be around the wrong crowd.
Gun. You can't have a gun. You cannot have a gun, period.
I know.
That's what you were on probation, on supervision for, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Running charges, and so you knew better. I mean, you know, you're a fifth offender.
Yes, ma'am.
You knew better than that. But I agree. I mean, I heard what your lawyer and Ms. Barr said about, you know, you get out of jail, you go back to the same place, back to the same neighborhood, you back to the same thing. So change of scenery is what you need.
Ma'am.
All right, you don't have any questions? Any questions? All right, I think I'm ready to vote. You know, when I came in after looking at the paperwork and looking at the films that I saw that was submitted by the body camera footage, I'm ready to revote. However, I do think that the plan worked out for you by Ms. Barr and Ms. Bennett is a viable plan if you take advantage of those services. My vote today is going to be do not revoke and add a special condition to the terms of your supervision, and that is that you do comply with the reentry plan set forth by the Public Defender's Office. And I want to be sure that you do get the mental health services and that you enroll in a GED program. I want you to get your high school diploma.
Ma'am.
That's my vote. I'm just one. Mrs. Stapleton?
I see that, to me, you do keep going back to the same neighborhood. And I did hear you just say that that's where your mother's at and that you're going to feel pulled to go back to that same neighborhood again. I did listen to your attorneys and everything they had to say, which was very important. But my personal feeling is that the fact that you had a gun on you and you are a fifth offender, you did know better than that. And that's why you, in the video, was prepared to run. So for that reason, I'm going to I'm going to revoke today.
Mr. Freeman?
Okay, like Ms. Stapleton said, you're a fifth offender and you're on for a firearm. Ms. Renata pointed that out. So you knew not to have that gun, and I just can't, as a former probation officer, vote for anyone to be carrying a gun out there that shouldn't be. So my vote is to revoke.
All right, Mr. Rowe, you got 2 votes to revoke, 1 vote that was in your favor, but so the outcome of today's proceeding is your parole's being revoked. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you very much.